together that we were expecting Sandstorm and Boomie to take it all, but they have to get through Ayo Daddy, and I will say this is a good stage to start off with for game number 1 because it's exactly where the red team was looking very strong in that first match we came on with.
Yeah, so it seemed like they worked out best when DaddyHiZo was able to just kind of take control of the entire stage, using those Lance side airs and down airs to really just make no landing area safe.
Yeah,
So,
it does feel like he's this ever-present force of danger around here. It's like if all the incidents of no issues since said day, DaddyHiZo has been ruining it this entire time because you can't exist anywhere without getting caught. But that's the jump scare side sig, caught him slipping and sent him right in the hands of Boomie. And not only that, but he gets another one as they start off with 2.
yeah, it is crazy that Sandstorm and Boomie here, they're playing 2 of the highest strength legends in the game. So you know those knockouts are going to happen early.
Yeah, very early and often. That D-Light Seer, of course, will find that first KO. Boomie getting sent pretty far over to the other side with that ground pound. Avoids Daddy for one good exchange. Needs to get down to the ground. He does, but DaddyHiZo having a bit of a hard time kind of tracking down Boomie at the current moment.
Yeah, Boomie is just like always tagging him after every single side air. Boomie gets up and over, and even if it's not a lot of damage, that was unarmed neutral airs, they add up.
I feel like I'm watching a very Mayweather-esque fight right now. It's like just like comes in, tags, hoo-hoo, and it gets away. Like, but it's
gotta get your points.
Gotta get my points. I'm not gonna actually knock you out, but it's one of those things where you have to be very careful because as long as you can line it up for Sandstorm to get those KOs, it doesn't matter as long as you're applying your damage.
Woo! The quick handoff right at the edge of the corner there. Boomie scores yet another knockout. So now it's 4 stocks to 2.
And Sandstorm sporting a little bit of damage, but look at Boomie refusing to give up any, and he's going to take that to his advantage. He can afford to go off stage like that. Meanwhile, Sandstorm having a field day with AyoBlue in the skies.
AyoBlue looking for the weapon, manages to arm up with the spear, gives him a little bit of extra range here.
Yeah, you kind of need it right now. I need to keep away, but look at Sandstorm just moving himself across the other side of that neutral light. And what a bait! He stood right there, made it look like he had a free opportunity to get the punish, and then he forces AyoBlue right next to DaddyHiZo, couples them up.
Oh, wow. Sidelight, wait for the dodge, then gets the uppercut. DaddyHiZo having to fight the most massive of mountains to make this comeback.
Well, if you're going to try and continue...
Yo!
It worked.
That's 2.
It worked, so can he do it again? I mean, hey, you never know. It is Demon Island, so greater things have happened, but currently, it's one straight hit from being a knockout.
Oh,
there we go.
There it is. The sidelight recovery to clean it up, but down to final stocks for game number 1.
I am a big fan of DaddyHiZo. After just doing that stutter step, you
can see the attitude in the gameplay.
Yeah, it reveals the player, and this is fantastic. They weren't able to get it down to the last stock, but they were behind the whole game. The ever-present danger we mentioned before of DaddyHiZo being everywhere. Their solution to that was, okay, you do you. We're gonna go hit AyoBlue, and AyoBlue screaming for help, but there was nowhere to be. It was none to be found.
Yeah, that is a bit of the danger, and why you don't see, a lot of the North American top players playing Lance in the doubles space is because it is a lot of committal movement. It is a lot of movement. You do get a lot of coverage, but you are locked into moving that direction. You don't really get to rotate to your teammate as often as you'd like. Yeah,
and in North America too, this is the meta of where everybody hits you once. They go, you know what? Yeah, I can knock you out right now. And if you have something like Lance, it could be very easy to get whiff punish on, or for that matter, you commit to something and then they could go after their partner. But we are going to see a swap over. We're going to bring the Scythe into play.
Ooh, a little bit of a dodge punish, so that way they know they can get those extra tags. That's something that Sandstorm was great at noting in game number 1. Every time that AyoBlue or DaddyHiZo would spend their dodge, he'd go, hey, now I can get a 3-piece instead of my usual 2. Oh, you burned your dodge? I get sidelight recovery confirmed. You can't get out of this on the gauntlet.
There's another double-up lineup for them right there. Sandstorm trying to recover the high recovery with his own recovery there on boots. But, of course, AyoBlue, well known for the Giro, and I'm not too surprised to see it has shown up because the Kaya was kind of getting figured out, and so far the game's completely even.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a little bit scary of a pick, and I really just like the fact that it's working out for him, keeping the stocks even, just because, as I mentioned, Boomie and Sandstorm playing 2 of the highest strength legends in the game. Giro, one of the lowest defense legends in the game. You've got a strength defense differential of 4 or 5 going into that.
Yeah, it is the trade-off, but you're going with like your true main, so it's like what you're most comfortable with. And we did see, I mean, even like with low defense legends from Moxie, who had the incredible performance with Thatch the other day. So it can work. Your movement just needs to be absurd, though. You cannot afford to get
you can't trade
caught.
blow for blow.
No.
You will lose that fight.
And Sandstorm hovering over that third stock still, but is going to disappear, as I pointed out. Boomie just trying to make sure he lands, does not want to lose this 2v1, and he does walk out on top. Only takes a side air, but weapon toss down is actually a good opportunity. Misses the D-Light into the ground pound.
But DaddyHiZo took Sandstorm all the way across the screen, then target swapped for the knockout onto Boomie for the stock lead for the red team.
And here, AyoBlue wanted one early, but he's going to take a ground pound for it. That's the trade-off for trying to go for a play like that. But he was already had so much damage on him, it was worth the attempt. DaddyHiZo definitely looking a lot better, and it's not too far off from getting that KO on the Sandstorm.
Yeah, AyoBlue has been able to keep the pressure off of DaddyHiZo a lot better than last game, able to fend for himself a lot better than last game.
Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Don't get caught up in the middle of that over there. But this is actually way more close now. Look at DaddyHiZo refusing to give up the second stock is a big difference maker in this game being as close as it is.
Yeah, now they're just looking for the knockout. Sandstorm down to final stock. They've got a momentary power play against Boomie. Couldn't get the punish.
Trying to look for that recovery on Boomie, does not get the hit, but again, DaddyHiZo refusing to get knocked out. Doesn't even get caught in a spot dodge, but that is going to, no, Sandstorm couldn't even commit to that because he had to go help Boomie.
Boomie fighting his way back. You know he's looking to take out AyoBlue, but no, Boomie and DaddyHiZo trading stocks. So now Sandstorm in a 1v2.
This is the last person you want to see against you in a 1v2. Like, there's not really much else to say. It's Sandstorm in the 1v2. He's already won one earlier today, and that is AyoBlue hovering on the worst case scenario of one share takes him out.
Yeah, chance for a handoff there. AyoBlue wanted the stability of getting back on stage.
DaddyHiZo just trying to see if he, oh my god, no move, no swings at all, but it's because they're just waiting for that one mistake, and DaddyHiZo, MVP of that game too, of course, on the back of the fact that AyoBlue's Giro was definitely popping off at the beginning. It allowed him to get some hits, but the most crucial part, the stat you don't see as often as it gets credit, is that survivability, that time frame that he spent on not losing that second stock. That's why we point out the graphs as often as we do, because he could have easily lost that way earlier.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at the graph myself while we're waiting for that to come up. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. You're going to see those final stocks.
Look at that.
Look at those plateaus.
Look at that second stock. He lost that first one way before the red team, the blue team, excuse me, and then he just refused to the point where it wasn't just him surviving, but he also was able to stay alive before Sandstorm got knocked out. Like that made a big difference.
Yeah, so it seems like we are just going to keep running this back. The only changes are going to be in the gameplay.
I don't disagree with it, to be honest. I think that it was incredibly well done, and they put the fact that they put a point on the board against this incredibly ridiculous team so far today, the only team essentially that was able to do that was the Cody Travis Phazon core earlier, and Luna Snowy. So that just goes to show you how good DaddyHiZo and AyoBlue are playing.
Yeah, I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. You see them maintaining this corner guard control. DaddyHiZo threatening with that chainsaw signature. You can vary how long you want to hold it. Definitely a timing mix-up option. Are they getting the delayed double? Yes! Sandstorm decides against going for the save, saw the risk that was sitting there on the corner.
Yeah, that's a big W for them because Boomie's very difficult to knock out sometimes, even when he's that low. But rightly so, like you said, don't. It's not worth taking the attempt down there. At that point, it's forfeit, and you don't want to get gimped early. But instead, they're able to get rid of one. Does DaddyHiZo fall soon? Nope, because of AyoBlue blocking Boomie.
Oh, the reversal. Boomie turning that chase around, scoring the knockout onto DaddyHiZo, so he's not able to get as much of extra credit as he did last game.
And Sandstorm, it looks like Sandstorm is the one who's taken the lead on trying to deal with DaddyHiZo now. But actually, no, they're switching it up. Boomie now going right after AyoBlue, doubling up on the nairs, putting that damage on. But AyoBlue is, finally got access to a weapon. Sandstorm almost getting knocked out.
Oh, there it is, right at the tail end. You're dodging into that wall. DaddyHiZo, he's got that ground pound.
Oh, this man is built different. Where have you been? DaddyHiZo is out here performing phenomenally. Not only holding on to his last stock that last game, but look at who is the most undamaged person on the screen. DaddyHiZo is still holding on to that second stock with a relatively comfortable lead, and this is a bad spot. Boomie going to chase him right now, misses out on that Sair, misses out on the dare, and then still misses the Sair after.
Yeah, the red team was split wide for a little bit. They're managing to regroup now. AyoBlue getting some unanswered damage. That's just going to propel their lead even further. Quick little handoff, but it all counts.
And Sandstorm just trying to get one big mistake from either player. If you could couple them up, you could get a double up with a Sair, lining them up into Boomie, but instead the pass was not meant to be received because AyoBlue catches them. They do, however, get AyoBlue.
All right, momentary power play against DaddyHiZo. They're not even playing with it. They're like, do not go off stage. These final stocks, we got to hold on.
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth it. DaddyHiZo's been very difficult to knock out to begin with, but that D-Light recovery is going to take it out. Here's the power play available on AyoBlue. Sair comes through, tries to catch him with the neutral lights. They get a little bit more. AyoBlue forced to go very high, but DaddyHiZo getting it in time to separate the two of them.
Ooh, AyoBlue getting a ton of damage. Uh-oh, but now he's caught. Not enough for the knockout, but that significantly shortened his time on stage.
Yeah, that definitely changes the tempo a little bit. Now DaddyHiZo needs to play block game, where you see now he's throwing out a lot of nairs to try and cover the aerial range. Boomie, oh, there's Sandstorm snatching him, and that's going to be the stock. As soon as you saw the sweat beads, immediate closeout.
Yeah, that was a great adjustment, noticing, hey, whenever we're trying to track down AyoBlue, he takes to the skies.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to set myself up there beforehand so I can get the GCD-like combos.
And you saw Sandstorm literally just hovering above, waiting to perfectly time, not dropping that recovery. Their win ratio of when they're up at the last two, obviously stats are pretty skewed on when you are the two at the end, but they don't really drop 2v1s, and that is going to put them back into the lead at 2-1. But this has been no way, shape, or form an easy dub. This has been a very difficult battle to try and get this W over AyoBlue and DaddyHiZo. That Giro switch making a huge difference still.
Yeah, you love to see it, and we are just going to run it right back once again.
Yeah, I think at this point we've kind of just established that Demon Island is the home of where we're going to be.
These are the players, these are the characters, nothing.
Everybody getting caught in the midst of Sandstorm's aggression right there. A little bit out of range, catching Boomie in the middle of that too. Could have been a lot more.
Man, Boomie's blaster's just juggling DaddyHiZo. He hasn't been able to like actually get any solid footing, and now he's disarmed. That almost knocked out.
Yeah, that's your win condition. Whatever you need that includes DaddyHiZo not playing the game, that's the one, because he has been a massive problem. Side air won't be enough to take him out just yet.
Man, and Boomie's so incredibly undamaged because he's just been going toe-to-toe with DaddyHiZo the whole time, and it's all been Boomie.
And Sandstorm doing his best to try and survive DaddyHiZo's pressure at the ledge. The neutralites still won't be enough to do it.
Oh, again, those blasters, man. So uncontestable.
You can literally not leave the two of them alone together. This is like two children in the playhouse who are ready to destroy every single wall you have. They, as soon as they see you're by yourself, bad things are going to happen.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Maximum conversion off of all these power plays. Oh, but momentary power play for DaddyHiZo and AyoBlue, and they convert to tie up the stocks.
All right, anything you could do, we could do better. He answered right back. DaddyHiZo not taking much damage. AyoBlue, of course, has to keep that high mobility game up, and he's already he's chasing Boomie well, and he almost had even. Actually, he's still going. Sandstorm had to stop what he was doing to go help.
That scythe was looking so incredibly clean.
Still looking good at that as he snatches off Boomie one more time. He catches him again. Meanwhile, Sandstorm is nowhere near him to help him this time.
Boomie with the hard rotation, enough to relieve the pressure from Sandstorm, but not enough to save him entirely.
Sandstorm still holding on to that second stock very well. AyoBlue doing the same thing, but AyoBlue is going to fall to that Sair. Sandstorm is very close to falling away. This is very close. All the weapon toss interrupting his chase.
Man, Boomie's moving. Just the continuation for that little bit of tag.
And it made that one rare mistake.
Oh,
Catching him with the recovery,
conversion.
but again, right on the money. The focus is AyoBlue. DaddyHiZo, however, again, just sporting this big lead. That has now immediately disappeared. It made me a whole liar. One stock apiece here in Game 4.
No purchase off the momentary power play this time. AyoBlue stayed out of the danger zone.
And Sandstorm trying to catch him. Actually, Sandstorm has read four straight routes that DaddyHiZo took in a row. Got two good strings out of it. AyoBlue going to chase. Honestly, this is so stressful. DaddyHiZo at any point in time, if he wants to, he hasn't done it yet, but he can go for a chase off stage with a Sair.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, actually, I think that's the most frightening part about him. He has only done this through stage control. He hasn't really been edge guarding deep that much. He does it maybe once or twice throughout a set, and he might not get a chance to if Sandstorm keeps pressuring him like this.
Yeah, Boomie and Sandstorm definitely switched over to getting just momentary 1 and 2 tags. That's it. They weren't going to extend the combos while both players were in the mix.
That was the most important part. Simplicity is key. We have the 1v1 that no longer exists as Sandstorm slides his way right into the victory. Home plate is his as they get the 3-1 W. Incredible, incredible job, though, from Team AO Daddy. AyoBlue and DaddyHiZo getting here to 5th place, taking out experience in Made, going all the way through this incredibly frightening elimination side, also beating Fakey and Java just before this, and looking as good as they did against Sandstorm and Boomie. This is a team to worry about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for this massive breakout performance from them, taking Boomie and Sandstorm to final stocks, taking games off of them, again, this was a bit of a toss-up of a set, more so than anyone ever expected it to be.
Yeah, and I just love what we're seeing here, and there we go. That ending, by the way, that's something you were pointing out. They stopped going for team combos. They went for 2 tags and dip. They separated them at that point, saying, okay, now we're going to win 1v1s. We haven't been trying to 1v1 you too much because it's been too difficult to keep you apart, so we're just going to get big plays on the AyoBlue when we can, but DaddyHiZo was too difficult to hit to the point where we said, okay, let's see if we can separate them. They did. They're one-weapon Andes for the most part throughout that match, but it doesn't matter because as long as they got the W, that's what matters the most, and they're going to be sitting in that spot waiting for what could be potentially a rematch from earlier in winner's quarters, and only for 4th place, depending on how that next set goes.
This is wild. This is absolutely wild. And I really do just love that.